Yes, this one looked familiar. Chief, now it's Will Armstrong. It was Willie Armstrong. But anyway, I did a video on him, I don't know, 6 months ago, I guess it was, where he was chasing a motorcycle at, I don't know, over 100 miles an hour because he's a complete idiot. He's a 24-year-old that's the perfect chief of police, apparently, for Brookford, North Carolina, because they're a bunch of damn idiots. A 24-year-old has zero business being a police chief. I'm sorry. Also, I would like to note, 82% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You got your phone in your hand, you're at your laptop, click the button, and we move along. You have to be 21 upon graduation from basic law enforcement training in North Carolina. 21. 24 is when he was put into the position of police chief in Brookford, at the Brookford Police Department. He had zero experience, none, but this is what they wanted, so here's where we're at, and let's see what he's up to. Will Armstrong is the chief of police for the Brookford Police Department in Brookford, North Carolina. Armstrong was hired as a chief of police in January 2023 after working with the department part-time for several years. Armstrong previously worked with Statesville Police Department and more recently the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. So he's been in 3 different places in, I don't know, 3 years. Why? He has a degree in criminal justice and has also worked as an emergency medical technician. He has many goals for the Brookford Police Department. Primarily, he wants to improve coverage and availability, but he also wants to involve his department in community engagement. Also, he is the only full-time employee or officer at the department. They have 9 part-timers. I'm just throwing that out there. He says that as a young police chief, he faces a lot of age discrimination. He focuses on doing his job as perfectly as possible. Yes, he should. They should all focus on age discrimination. He has no life experience. 24 years old, and he is the chief of police. Please fucking stop. Chief Armstrong shared with the audience that he wanted to become a police officer at a young age because of the many domestic issues his family faced, and law enforcement officers were always a positive influence on him. He shared that one of his captains was a mentor to him as a child. He's so young, his captain was a mentor to him as a child. He has zero business being a police chief. And yes, this is from On Patrol Live or something. I'm not subscribing to all that to get all this. But anyway, Chief Armstrong first appeared on Patrol Live February 2023. Chief Armstrong appeared as a guest host in the studio during the August 18, 2023 and August 19, 2023 episodes. So here's some of the episodes that he has been on, apparently. So we'll let this scroll through for a second. No, absolutely not. Sorry. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And there's a bunny rabbit down there. I know you can't see it. I'm pointing at it under that tree right there. But and I'm wondering how far the sheriff's office is from the police department that this is how it's working out. Anyway, let's go see what they are saying about Mr. Willie Armstrong. This is from 2 years ago.
Well, a small town in Catawba County has what could be the youngest black police chief in the country. Queen City News reporter Sydney Heiberger introduces us to a 24-year-old at the helm.
The past 2 months have been a wild ride for 24-year-old Will Armstrong. As the town of Brookford's new chief of police, he's setting all kinds of records.
I'm being told
he's setting stupid records. He's black and he's young. That is zero qualifications to be a police chief. Sorry.
From many people over the place that I'm possibly the youngest African-American chief in America.
Not to mention, this past weekend, he took his small department to the national stage after being featured on a reality show On Patrol Live and voted Department of the Weekend.
I think over the weekend we assisted with a pursuit from the county. We also had our own...
Yes, he is correct about that. And if you go back and you try to find that pursuit, unless you go and pay for the On Patrol Live or whatever, you can't find it. I put a video up of it. That one will show up in search. Go try to find... When this first happened, it was all over YouTube. Now you cannot find it.
I had a motorcycle chase Saturday night.
Not only is Armstrong the chief, he's also the department's only full-time employee. In his short time, he's grown his department from 6 officers to 9. Firming up round-the-clock staffing is one of his goals.
Right now, our local sheriff's office takes over when no one's in completely, and they handle a lot of our major stuff for us, but I want to get us to a point where we're handling our own investigations, our own wrecks.
Don't get him wrong. There are plenty of naysayers when it comes to confidence in a 24-year-old chief.
Age can be one of those things that people look at like he's too young.
He is absolutely way too young. He has no life experience, much less chief of police experience. Sorry, and then people are going to say, well, you're saying that because he's black. I don't give a shit what color he is. A 24-year-old has 0. They're barely out of field training officer. Out from underneath their foot.
I don't know what he's doing. I've heard that a million times too, but I just kind of come out here and do what I do, and hopefully everybody kind of sees the good work.
Even the look on his face is like, please fucking stop.
That I put on.
But Armstrong says with past experience at Statesville Police Department, Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, and a part-time position in Brookford.
Yes, also again, why has he been to so many different places in the short time he has been in law enforcement?
He's ready to show his doubters that he has what it takes to lead. In Brookford, Sydney Heiberger, Queen City News.
Oh, what a bright young man he is, and a bright future ahead of him.
Remember that. What a bright young man and what a bright future. And here we are. Just, I don't know, a few days ago.
Police chief in Catawba County has been indicted by a grand jury accused of destroying or changing an audio recording from an investigation into a decades-old cold case. The Queen City News anchor Robin Kennedy tells us the chief made his first court appearance on the charges today.
Brookford Police Chief Willie Armstrong walked away from us Thursday outside the Catawba County Courthouse, not saying a word on camera, letting this statement speak for him. He says he's not guilty of the charges against him.
That's what they all say, not guilty.
Even smiling for his mugshot on a felony charge of altering, destroying, or stealing criminal evidence, and a misdemeanor of willfully failing to discharge duties. These are some very serious charges.
Well, I don't believe they'll hold up in court.
Brookford Mayor Thomas Schrantz doesn't believe the claims that Armstrong destroyed or altered an audio recording from October of last year in the investigation into a 1992 cold case, the murder of 13-year-old Dee Dee Dawkins.
I don't think there's anything to it, because if there'd been anything on that phone, Armstrong would have kept it. He wouldn't have deleted it.
He'd have kept it. He wouldn't have deleted it. Wait. I think we need to be looking up the mayor and see what's in his closet.
The Catawba County Sheriff's Office says a Brookford police officer came to them last November and reported allegations of criminal activity by Chief Armstrong. The Sheriff's Office says they gave that information to the SBI and the District Attorney's Office, and after that, they have not been involved in the investigation into Armstrong. Mayor Schrantz says Armstrong is on paid leave following his arrest Wednesday.
Of course he is.
Well, with the town, I'm going to keep him. I don't want to get rid of him because he's a good police officer.
The mayor says
So that tells me that Mr. Willie must have something on the mayor.
the town board will decide what's next at its meeting on June 16th. In Catawba County, Robin Kennedy, Queen City News.
Stop. Let's see what the comments have to say about it. If we can get to them. Not sure what that was showing up like that, but anyway. Who the heck would hire a 24-year-old as chief of police? He's still a rookie. Thank you. I thought, who would hire a teenager as chief of police? Then I saw the 120-year-old mayor. I know, right? Is this the same chief everyone boasted all over on the news and live PD for being the youngest and unqualified chief in history? OP Live, on Patrol Live. Why is the usual suspect a police officer? DEI and OVA. Exactly. Left my ass off. Guess a 25-year-old shouldn't be police chief. Who knew? Well, most everybody knew. Innocent until proven guilty. This is still the United States of America. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. I'm casting a stone. I'm casting shit everywhere. I don't give a shit if you like it or not. Smiling on a mugshot, guilty of sin. So much wrong here. Typical small town corruption as opposed to typical large city corruption. Sounds like they have a good old boy mayor. Yes. God, this is a small suburb of Hickory, which isn't all that larger town either. They have 2 to 3 patrol cars and less than 10 police officers. Yes, low on law enforcement hiring standards in the pursuit of diversity goals is always a bad idea. Just ask Tyree Nichols. Exactly. So I tried to go back and find some, once this broke, some information on the Facebook page and got a bunch of, this is not available right now. And like I was saying before, this is the video that I put up, I don't know, I guess 6 months ago. And you can't, it was all over YouTube. You cannot find it now. Except for this one that I put up. They were boasting about it and they were loving it. And this is where it's at now. So this is what we're doing now.
Tonight out of Catawba County, we now know the police chief in the town of Brookford, just outside of Hickory, is now on administrative leave.
This move comes after Chief Willie Armstrong was indicted on multiple charges, which include altering, stealing, or destroying evidence in connection to a more than 30-year-old cold case.
And WCNC Charlotte's Tradisha Woodard has the details.
The Catawba County District's Attorney's Office says as soon as they learned of potential misconduct by the chief, they knew they had a conflict of interest and referred the case to the North Carolina Conference of DAs. These documents obtained by WCNC Charlotte show Police Chief Willie Armstrong was indicted on charges for altering, destroying, or stealing criminal evidence and willfully failing to discharge duties. I spoke with Armstrong last week before these charges came down.
All I was trying to do is help this poor family that wanted answers for a 13-year-old child that matters.
He says the situation started after reopening the decades-old cold case of Dee Dee Dawkins, a girl who was raped and murdered back in 1992. Armstrong says when conducting an interview with a person of interest, he forgot his cell phone at that person's home.
Yes, he forgot his cell phone. That was recording that he forgot in that house.
Which spurred questions about his intent and motive.
We walk out of the house, his phone sitting on the coffee table. It was an accident. I never had a criminal intent to do anything wrong.
But according to a search warrant, the man Armstrong interviewed claimed the chief purposely left the phone in his home while it was recording, an allegation Armstrong denies. I spoke with the Catawba County District Attorney, Scott Riley, who says they learned of the allegations of misconduct back in January. But due to conflict of interest because of the close proximity they worked together in, they referred that case to a conflict prosecutor.
Well, there's potential misconduct in the way he's handled the case.
Armstrong says since then he's been ordered to drop the case and hand over all key findings.
Has been indicted by our grand jury in connection to misconduct related to that case. I didn't think it was proper for him to remain on the case, and I directed the Catawba County Sheriff's Department.
Armstrong tells me he is due in court Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. Back to you.
And this is the latest.
At 5:30, a local police chief says he still wants to be sheriff despite a criminal indictment.
You can't make this up. Now he wants to be sheriff. So let me see. This is the way it usually plays out. They're in law enforcement. Some shit goes down. They know the shit's about to go down. The hammer's coming down. There's no way out of it. So they resign while they're under investigation. The department says, well, we don't have jurisdiction over them. There's nothing we can do about it now. And then before you know it, Willie will be the sheriff.
Are you going to keep running for sheriff? Have you made a decision on that?
Absolutely going to continue to run.
Brookford Chief Willie Armstrong was adamant about his political intentions today. He's been accused of destroying evidence in a cold case murder investigation. Our Dave Faraday was there today as family members of that murder victim supported the chief in court.
Well, we saw family members today wearing shirts here at the courthouse with pictures of the 13-year-old and also inside the courtroom holding up their phones with photos on it. They believe that this case was botched before Chief Armstrong reopened it 2 years ago.
I've got no comment. We'll see you in court.
Chief Willie Armstrong didn't want to talk about the charges of destroying evidence and willfully failing to discharge his duties in the Dee Dee Dawkins murder case. The 13-year-old's body was found here along the Henry Fork River back in 1992. According to court documents, Armstrong purposely left his cell phone recording inside the home of a man he had interviewed about the case last year, and then returned 20 minutes later to retrieve the phone. But according to an FBI search at the Brookford Police Department, a portion of that recording was missing. Armstrong posted online recently that the search came shortly after he announced plans to run for sheriff.
It is disgusting what I'm witnessing happening. Their moral compass is so broken, I don't think they can find their way home.
Sheriff deputies
Nope, this started before that.
say they did alert the FBI about their concerns over Armstrong, but that was last October, months before he announced he was running for sheriff. Deputies say any claims of misconduct by Chief Armstrong are completely without merit.
Because we're here for Dee Dee.
Stephanie and Keisha Young strongly support Armstrong's efforts to solve the murder. Keisha was Dee Dee Dawkins' cousin.
Dee Dee's case should not have come to this courthouse in this way. They sacrificed a 13-year-old child's case to be able to make him look bad.
No, they are doing none of that. Criminal is criminal. To begin with, he had zero business being a police chief. He has even less business being sheriff. So, these people that are crying about this need to get a clue.
And Armstrong's attorney says he did not destroy evidence in this case. The town of Brookford says that he's been placed on paid administrative leave and that part-time workers are filling in for him right now. Reporting from Newton, I'm Dave Verity, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Catawba County District Attorney Scott Riley turned the Dee Dee Dawkins case over to the sheriff's office. In a statement today, Riley weighed in on the chief's involvement in the case, writing in part that it would be wholly inappropriate, legally and ethically, for Chief Armstrong to remain involved.
Police chief in Catawba County has been indicted.
Stop. If he's elected sheriff, will he be on the case again? Anyway. That's where we're at with this complete shit show. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, I don't know, 80-some% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to their channel. You got your phone in your hand, you're at your laptop, click the button, and we'll move along. Let me know what you think about this one, and I'm out.